Hey guys, so this is going to be a tutorial for a frosted napkin card panel, and let me just say I had first seen years ago a tutorial on something very similar to this where a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator used heat and stick powder, and I don't have heat and stick powder and I really don't want to pay $4 or $5 for an ounce of it, especially knowing that it's not going to go very far. So I came up with a way to do it without heat and stick powder. So this is what we'll be doing, and let me get to the materials that you will need to make this. And this is just an example I put it on so that you could see. You'll need white cardstock. You could use whatever cardstock or even a thin cardboard if you wanted to, but I know with white cardstock, I'm gonna for sure be able to see the image that's the napkin, you know. You'll need a napkin panel, any one of your choosing. You'll need clear, fine glitter. Now glitter comes in all shapes and colors. And I hadn't been able to find a clear white fine glitter, so I had bought this, and this glitter, if you can tell, has a green iridescence to it. This will work if you don't have any other option, but although it worked on this card panel fine, it did not work on this one okay. This was a black napkin. This one was a lot lighter in color. This had a lot of oranges and whites, and as you can see on the dark napkin, it did not allow the napkin to shine through the glitter very well. So I would highly suggest trying to get your hands on some clear glitter. It turns out I did have a little tube of it that I got in a de-stash that I forgot. But try and find one without any colors in it, any iridescence in it. The next thing you'll need is Aleenes Original Tacky. And if you have other glues, use your other glues, use what you can. I like Aleenes because it works really well and it's cheap. The Original Tacky. This isn't a clear gel bottle, but it's the original one. You'll also need Aleene's clear gel glue. And then the last glue that you'll need is Elmer's white glue. I'm using a generic brand because it works. And then you'll also need some spatulas. You could use paintbrushes if you wanted to. That's just one more thing that I'd have to clean. So I opt for old plastic cards because I can just throw those away. Okay, so the first thing that you'll want to do is get your napkin, pull off all of the white layers. Now, if you want to keep the white layers, you can, but it's just more layers of napkin that you'll inevitably have to make sure the glue soaks through. Once you've got your napkin separated, the next thing you're going to want to do is put a generous amount of Aleene's tacky glue or whatever super strong clear adhesive that you have that you want to use. And for this part, you're going to want to do an extremely thin layer of glue. All you really want is to be able to stick the napkin down. You don't need the glue to penetrate the napkin at this point. But you want to make sure there's full coverage. Now this piece of cardstock is bigger than the napkin panel, so I'm not worrying about the edges. I would worry about that piece of dirt though. And once you get the glue on there, you want to stick on your napkin as delicately as possible and smooth it out, trying not to get too many wrinkles. And then you want to set this aside to dry, which won't take long. Aleenes dries extremely quick. So I'm going to be working with different card panels. I hope y'all don't mind. That way I don't have to make 47 videos and stick them all together. So when it's dry, you're going to end up with something like this. And once you have a dried card panel, you're going to want to cut it to size to fit a card base or whatever project you're going to be using it on. I'm using card bases. I don't plan on, you know, making any other projects with these. So this one I have cut to size to fit this card base. I suggest cutting it to the size of your project. Cutting it to the size of your project before you do the glitter part. Otherwise, it's going to be harder to cut with glitter on it. So that's why I suggest you cut it to size prior. Now I'm going to lay down a piece of paper because I don't have a, well, I do have a fancy nonstick mat, but I don't like to clean up that fancy nonstick mat. So once you have your card panel cut to size, then you're going to want to put on the layer of clear gel tacky glue. And this glue, you're going to want to be more generous with it, because you're going to want it to hold the glitter. I think that might be enough. I've already got dried glue all over my hands, so you'll have to excuse that. Now, like I say, you can use paintbrush. I like using old cards because I don't have to clean them up afterwards. Just want to spread your clear gel on the napkin. Clear gel does not dry super fast, unlike its original tacky sibling. So you've got some time to work on it. Now, I got this card panel from Shea, by the way. Okay. So you should have enough on there to soak through the napkin and also to catch all of the glitter. So once you have the glue on there, then you want to dump on your glitter. The nice thing about using a piece of paper too is, oh my goodness. Okay, apparently I had enough glitter for one card. Should go on eBay, see if I can, have to shake it down. See if I can find some more clear white. Once you have a completely covered card, then you want to sit this aside and let it dry completely. I do not recommend you heat it with a heat gun because you're just going to make the glue bubble. So this is a craft that requires some level of patience, not my strong suit for sure. So you're going to let that dry, and then I'll be right back with a dried card base to show you the final step. Okay, once your panel is dry, now it's time for the last step, which is the Elmer's glue or whatever extremely cheap and pretty much worthless glue you have. I never use this glue for actually gluing because it's not very good glue, but it works great for sealing glitter, which is why it's the last step. You can use a brush, but I like this. And thick layers are okay also, because the cheap white glue will dry exceptionally thin and you won't be able to even see it's there. If I'm not using hairspray to seal my glitter, I usually use the cheap white glue. Just trying to get whatever edges I can out. And you want to set that aside to dry, and I will be right back when it's done drying to show you. So here's the finished product all dry, and then you can put it on your card. And thanks for watching.